Alright everyone, so for today's video, I wanted to talk about the Citicore Energy REIT IPO. I want to apologize na medyo delayed ng konti itong video na to, no? The reason was I wanted to wait na ma-release sana yung final price bago ko i-release yung video para up-to-date na kagad yung information. Unfortunately, as of this recording, hindi ko pa rin nakikita yung final price. Wala siya sa Edge. I don't see it in articles online. So while there's a possibility na na-miss ko siya, diba? And if so, I do apologize. It would seem like hindi pa sila ready ilabas. Kaso, bukas, mag-offer period na. So I wanted to get this video out there to offer you the information that we have right now. But rest assured na if may madagdag na bagong impormasyon, diba, I'll be sure to release a new video para ma-update ko kayong lahat. Okay? Now, let's talk about some key details. First, yung mga shares that are being offered. 1 billion primary common shares and then 1.7 billion secondary common shares with 0.4 billion secondary common shares for over-allotment. Okay? Now, the offer period is from November 26 to December 3. With the listing date of December 13, 2021. And then the offer price is 3.15 pesos. Okay? Now, kung mabenta lahat ng shares, we're looking at a public ownership of 49%. Now, some of you may be thinking na, bakit ganon yung sa primary and secondary shares? We'll get to that, no? But for now, let's talk about yung mga coordinators and underwriters. Now, the joint global coordinators are Unicapital Incorporated and BDO Capital and Investment Corp. Okay? Now, the lead underwriter is Unicapital Incorporated, and then the joint lead local underwriters are BDO Capital and Investment Corp and PNB Capital and Investment Corp. Now, I mentioned this a lot of times before, but it's worth mentioning again para sa mga first time na nakakanood ng mga videos ko with regards sa IPOs. You want to know yung history or yung mga, kumbaga yung resulta ng mga previous projects ng mga underwriters na involved dun sa IPO. Kasi usually, you can use that as a sort of barometer on how it might perform moving forward. Now, syempre, hindi po guarantee na kapag kayong mga previous na inasikaso nila ay maganda, ibig sabihin lahat ng aasikasuhin nila moving forward maganda na. But, it's a good way to help assess lang, dagdag information sa inyo. While it might not be the primary decision-making factor, it should be part of the decision-making process. Okay? So, be sure lang po na double-check kung ano yung history, ano yung background, ano yung resulta ng mga previous na inasikaso ng mga underwriters for this particular IPO. Okay? Now, as I was saying, yung primary-secondary split is 33-67. That's assuming everything is sold. And normally, that's a point of concern, no? But sa mga REITs, medyo mas common kasi yung ganyang practice. Like sa REIT, yung primary offer component niya was only around 10%. And then sa DDMPR, it was 100% secondary. Okay? Now, this info is taken from Mercado Barkada. So, shout out po sa mga friends natin doon. Thank you for continuing to educate us and teach us sa mga important na mga fundamental and financial details sa mga investments natin, no? Now, sa mga hindi pa nakakapag-subscribe sa Mercado Barkada, I'll put a link to their newsletter in the description box below. Now, all the primary proceeds will be used to acquire property. So they'll be acquiring 2 more properties, no? And then the projected dividend yields is 5.7% in 2022 and then 6% in 2023. Obviously, projected pa lang yon, hindi pa siya guaranteed, no? But based on the projection, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, this should be more towards the higher end of the spectrum with regards sa dividend yields ng mga REITs that are currently being offered dito sa atin. Okay? Now, CREIT, Okay, or CREIT. CREIT na lang para lang it rolls off the tongue, no? CREIT leases its land to solar power plants that are owned by Citicore affiliated companies. Diba? It's our first non-office building REIT. Now, personally, dito ako medyo mas na-intrigue, na-pique yung interest ko. Okay? Kasi, syempre, kakaiba eh. Normally, sanay tayo na kapag REIT, usually, ipaupahan ng office and such, no? Pero ito, iba. Parang yung lupa, ipapalease nila sa mga solar plants na either they own or are affiliated sa mga companies nila. Now, CREIT already owns 5 properties. And as mentioned kanina, they have plans to acquire 2 more additional properties. The 5 properties are already leased out. Okay? Now, CREIT earns a base lease rate plus a variable lease rate that is equal to 50% of the incremental gross revenue earned by the lessee from any excess of its actual energy generation for the current fiscal year over its base revenue. Okay? Now, everything sounds good so far. Okay? And I think part of the reason kung bakit tuloy-tuloy din tayo, kasi meron nga tayong quote from Mr. Tom Tauli. I hope I'm not butchering his name. Tolly. Okay? When the general market gets a cold, the IPO market gets pneumonia. It's that kind of relationship. So ngayon that the market has been picking up, it seems only natural na yung mga gusto magpa-IPO, gusto rin nila makapasok na habang medyo hot pa, di ba? Kasi yun nga, kung may sakit yung market, general market, usually mas malala yung sakit ng IPO market. Now, normally at this point of the video, I give you my thoughts kung ano yung tingin ko doon sa overall na prospects ng IPO, no? Pero in this particular instance, since meron pa tayong konting kulang na information, I'll hold on to that for the next video. But I do want to mention a slight point of concern that I have for CREIT, no? So yung ownership group ng CREIT is also spearheaded by Mr. Edgar Saavedra. I hope, again, I'm not butchering the name, no? The same guy or the same ownership group ng Megawide. And as we all know, meron pa silang pending na kaso yung sa Cebu Mactan International Airport. And we don't know, okay, wala naman tayong insider information or anything on how this might affect yung prospects ng CREIT moving forward. So that's just something to watch out for and keep in mind as you try to make up your mind to see if this is something that you're interested in moving forward. Okay? Mahirap kasi na merong ganon ka, I wouldn't say super important or super crucial, but ganon ka pertinent na information na iisang tabi lang natin just because parang interesting yung pag-present or interesting yung ginagawa nila. Diba? Kakaiba. So, we want to take all that information and not sift out yung mga information na ayaw natin. Tapos we're gonna convince ourselves na this is going to the moon, only to disappoint ourselves in the end, diba? So just keep in mind all of the information that we talked about as you make your choice, lalo na nga at bukas na yung offer period natin. Okay? So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin. And again, I apologize na hindi pa nakalabas yung final price at the time of this recording. I hope na kahit papaano may natutunan kayo at nagustuhan nyo tong video na to. And as always, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!